Good morning, everybody. My name is Matt Wyckoff. I am the founder to yourstudent.com, and today we're going to address the question that is behind me. How will you avoid becoming crippled with college debt with no workplace learning experience? That's the questions you should be asking early on, middle and high school, to avoid that, because there's so many citizens in our country who are in this situation with a degree that's not helping them in the workplace, with no workplace learning experience that can onboard them into a career field that they are pursuing. So let's jump to it. Right behind me is yourstudent.com as of January 27, 2023. And this is my family, and this has been under development since 2008 and 9 to mentor youth, to help youth pursue upward and economic social mobility. Charlotte is ranked one of the last cities in our country when it comes to social and economic mobility, and we need to rethink how we're doing things, especially at the middle and high school level, when it comes to career planning, detailed career planning. The work we're doing and making sure that our youth are better prepared for the workforce. So behind me, there's a lot of links, and all these links are meant to be there for a reason, to help mentor our youth and to encourage our youth in their development. Today I'm going to specifically talk about career planning. So you can use this career planning link here that's tied to the U.S. Department of Labor databases. So you can research, answer questions regarding your specific career interest profile. So depending on how you answer these survey questions, the government can recommend you careers associated with what your interests are. Or you can just freely search specifically careers and find out if those careers in the next 10 years have a bright outlook. Meaning, does it make sense for you to spend a lot of time and money to prepare for that? Because if it's below average in certain areas of the country where you're going to live and work, you need to be aware of that. That's a red flag you cannot overlook, so you don't become another statistic of somebody who's very unhappy about how they spent their years after high school training for a career crippled with debt. So, career planning, zoom in a little bit so you can see, is right here. And again, it goes right to a contracted website, My Next Move, through the U.S. Department of Labor. And you can begin with, I'm not really sure, tell us what you like to do, to start those survey questions to get an idea of recommendations. So if you're like obviously at a middle or high school level, and you just don't know what you want to do, that's a good place to start to develop that profile. Or you can go right into it and search right here and find out all these critical details. So what's it look like when you're done planning properly? Okay, I'm going to give you an example of one of our students who is pursuing a commercial pilot training after high school, and I want you to use that as an example, because you're going to go through this process hopefully regularly throughout your life. I mean, no matter how old you are, this process is invaluable for yourself and for people around you at any age. So I'm going to go just pan back to yourstudent.com, and I'm going to show you the example career plan I just spoke about. Now, it does forward to a Verizon wireless advertisement, because I'm trying to get a $10 million contract from Verizon. Can you hear me now, Verizon? I'm coming for you. So we can elevate what we're doing to a much higher level. So hopefully Verizon becomes one of our partners in that endeavor to go deeper into this work. If not, we'll just change that ad to the company that does. So here it is, commercial pilot career portfolio. So this was done on Google Slides. Y'all have access to Google Slides as a student. And you can use a program called Snippet. Or any kind of screen captured software to screen capture your results from My Next Move and then document that on a Google slide. Okay, so you can share it with your mentors, your teachers, your counselors, just people specifically to help guide you to the next steps in your career development. Okay, so we're just going to go through this. Career portfolio, commercial pilot, Aaron AA Ron. You guys know AA Ron? Yeah, you do. AA Ron. He just documents the date, the course that he did this in, a career and technical education project lead the way course that we offer, and then just cited his picture where he got it so he can visualize what work would look like in that career. He did do in this case, a career interest profile survey, captured his results, captured what those results mean. Also found on My Next Move, all the detailed information related to that career, including career videos that the student can watch related to that career to learn more about what that career is all about. Background information, knowledge, skills, abilities, personalities, technology required for those types of positions to see if it's aligned with that student. And then at the bottom here is specifically education links on how to find training where you are living, specifically to support you in schooling after high school, because you don't want to choose a college or a higher education opportunity because they have a great sports team. If you want to pursue it because that's a career you're pursuing. So this will help you do that. So you can find training around your zip code, where you live. You can find licenses and certifications and actually apprenticeships through the government, if there are any specifically related to that. And you can also find out if it's a bright outlook. And this is a huge red flag. If it says below average in the area you want to live and work, that's a red flag that you might want to be skeptical and pivot and try something different. So you can look per state if it's a bright outlook. Sometimes there are bright outlooks in certain states and below average in other states. So just be aware of that. You can find jobs listed on job banks like Indeed is a very popular job bank. There's all the job banks that companies post their positions that you can interview for if you have the correct credentials are there. So you can kind of visualize what those jobs look like and what you need to get those jobs. And average salaries throughout the country. So just an invaluable resource for our community, and you need to read, analyze, and make use of it regularly throughout your years as a middle high schooler and beyond. So all this is just screen captures of the data that the student found from going through those links that I just shared with you. And if you read, you can see the actual schools after high school that support that career. You can see specifically how long those programs take on average to complete, and then how many graduates potentially they're graduating. So if they're not graduating any in the past year or so, then that might be a concern for you. But if they're graduating higher numbers, that might strengthen your choice to want to go and pursue that type of training there. Again, certifications that over time you would need to pursue, more than likely are sponsored by the companies you're working for, but in some cases you could possibly get them through different community college options or different resources in your community. And then just internships and apprenticeships. And that leads me to, there's all sorts of resources around that, but specifically, depending on your pathway, it's really interesting. You have to understand the workplace learning career pathway for every industry, because it looks different, right? If I'm going to be a surgeon, that looks different than if I'm going to be a mechatronics engineer in the manufacturing industry. So apprenticeships make more sense if I'm going to be a mechatronics engineer in automation and manufacturing, because you would join an apprenticeship network. And I'll touch on that on yourstudent.com in a second. And so again, documenting the job banks and positions that are actually careers that you want to pursue right now, and learning more about those, really important. And then making goals, specific goals, to obtain workplace learning experience in middle school, in high school, and beyond. There's so many college graduates that end up getting a degree but have absolutely no workplace learning experience in their career field. And that's what prevents them from onboarding into that career. And that's where the problem begins. So targeted workplace learning experience, learning on the job with the professionals, and pairing that experience with training in your higher education training institutions. So make goals, make connections, network with the professionals and that are out in your community, and plan to obtain workplace learning experience, more so in your life than not. Do a resume. If it's your first time doing a resume, you can jump on Google Docs and use a resume template, and just outline your experience. And at your young age, your experience is going to be more so volunteering with different organizations in your community that do good work, and then also working with those mentors in your community, to level up your skills and your experiences in your workplace learning. And this last part is a writing component. Now, you can't, this is on you as the student. You cannot rely on a wizard or AI system to do this for you. I mean, it's not going to be as good unless you do it yourself and work on it yourself. So whatever career you choose, find the 2 top problems those professionals are experiencing right now that you find most interesting, and just list them out. And then choose one and start outlining a college level research paper on it. That's what's behind me right now. So for example, write a claim of the problem and how that problem is going to be solved. And that's under the claim thesis right here. And then find supporting claims from credible resources that support what you're saying is valid. That's what is in this quadrant here, cited within text citation, college level. Okay, so you can use that formatting to help you in that process. And then use a design brief, a technical writing document, to just analyze the problem, solution, constraints, who you're solving the problem for, and who's actually part of the design work in that solving that problem. Just to look at it differently using technical writing. And then lastly, you can use like easybib.com, citationmachine.net to develop a APA or MLA format citation as if you were going to follow through on a research paper. And that's what is in this last quadrant. Thank you for your time. Until next time.